What's up, YouTube fam? You already know who it is. It's Keeping Up with the Griffins, and today we are at the International African American Museum.
We're about to go check out some history here in our hometown of Charleston, South Carolina. This is a brand new museum that was just built, maybe not even a year old yet.
Yeah.
So we're going to go check it out and get some history and see what it has to offer. We hope you enjoy it. If you're here in Charleston, South Carolina, I'm sure it's something worth checking out. We'll have links in the description for the website. Let's go see what the museum has to offer.
The museum strives to foster empathy and understanding, empowering visitors with the knowledge of the past. The journey will challenge, illuminate, inspire, and ultimately will move people to action.
As you go through the revolving doors, there's a feeling that you're going back in time on a historical journey. You immediately notice the large video board displays that begin to tell an incredible story. You'll immerse yourself in the journey of African cultural roots, from the tragedy of the Middle Passage to the enduring of the legacy of local and international diaspora scenes and traditions.
In the South Carolina Connection portion of this museum, you get to experience stories of resistance and achievement from the many locally, nationally, and internationally influential African Americans in South Carolina's history.
One of the exhibits features Aletha Gibson, born in Charleston. She was an American tennis player and professional golfer. She was one of the first Black athletes to cross the color line of international tennis. In 1956, she became the first African American to win a Grand Slam event. The following year, she won both Wimbledon and the U.S. Nationals. Dizzy Gillespie, Ronald McNair, and numerous other historical Black figures from Charleston are featured here as well.
This portion of the exhibit will put into perspective the many lives lost and those that made it from Africa to Charleston. Statistics are listed that really tell the story of strife, struggle, and torment the transatlantic journey had on millions. Seeing the shackles and the outline of how they were placed in the ship for the journey is heartbreaking. Men, women, and children taken from a place that was familiar to them and transported to a place of unknown to begin a new life, a life of hard work, labor, and being powerless.
The enslaved spent a large portion of their time harvesting crops such as rice, upland cotton, sea island cotton, and indigo, among other crops, but these were the most harvested.
This portion of the museum is known as African Roots. African Roots presents the diverse empires, cultures, historic figures, knowledge systems, and technology of West and West Central Africa, the origins of Africans forced to the Americas. It highlights the dynamic past, present, and future of these regions, and Africa more broadly, from empires and societies to colonies to modern nations. Key artifacts include an 18th century Islamic astrolabe, as well as masks, currencies, and jewelry from West and West Central Africa ethnolinguistic groups.
With a focus on the Lowcountry of South Carolina and Georgia, the Gullah Geechee Gallery provides an introduction to Gullah Geechee history and culture. Through the exploration of themes including activism, organization, and cultural practices, and preservation, this gallery examines the history of the community as well as contemporary issues facing the Gullah Geechee communities. Featuring a full-size Batu boat, a recreated praise house, and multiple media experiences, the Gullah Geechee Gallery provides insight into the dynamic cultural identity of the Gullah Geechee people and endeavors to define and demystify what it means to be Gullah Geechee.
The theater gallery features films and video-based installations and provide broad historical context to the overall museum experience through a narrative storytelling format.
There are a few rooms similar to this one in numerous locations in the museum. Each tell a unique story. The American Journeys Gallery presents key moments, figures, and movements in African American history that are interconnected with South Carolina, showing how they shaped and were shaped by local, national, and international cultures, politics, and economies. The gallery starts from the year 1400 and ascends all the way up to today. This section of the museum is full of so much history and facts that is simply amazing. A combination of reading displays, pictures, artifacts, audio, and video will guide you through the centuries worth of history here.
Halfway through the American Journeys exhibit, you'll find the Center for Family History, a groundbreaking research center dedicated to assisting individuals to reconnect with their family history and ancestors. Whether you are an experienced genealogist or just getting started on your journey, the Center for Family History will help you find connections to your ancestors and discover more of your story. Fun fact, did you know First Lady Michelle Obama has ties to South Carolina? Her ancestors were enslaved in South Carolina in the mid-1800s. The exhibit offers you a detailed look at her family history and how they made it here to America.
For far too long, African American family histories have been obscured and buried, but there are records to trace and stories to uncover. This Center for Family History will help you do just that. Once you pay admission to enter the museum, it also includes free access to the center, its family kiosk, story booth, and more. If you want to get serious and find your deep family roots for an additional cost, there's also virtual one-on-one consultations available. You'll be able to get additional support from expert staff on your ancestry journey. The Center for Family History team can point you to online and brick-and-mortar archives, repositories, and specialist collections that hold invaluable African American records and documents that documented the lives of enslaved people as well as free people of color.
You are also able to utilize the interactive video boards to start your own research and find family you probably never knew you had. As you exit the Center for Family History, you'll continue on the American journey and resume at the year 1890.
There is a wealth of knowledge here and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of history. When you visit, plan for a few hours so you can take your time and really get the most out of this museum. You'll leave with a new insight on African American history. One of the most defining elements of the gardens is the Tide Tribute, a presentation of the Brooks slave ship diagram, a now famous depiction of the transatlantic slave trade's profoundly inhumane transport conditions. The Tide Tribute is grounded in relief figures, each representation of a man, woman, or a child who laid shackled in the bellies of the ships that were once anchored steps away in the Charleston harbor. As the tide changes, the shallow pool of water fills and empties, covering and revealing the shapes of those it honors. Bordered by the historic line of Gaston's Wharf, the tribute emphasizes the fluidity of the past, present, and future.
From its palm grove studded with Canary Islands palms, a reflection of the African diaspora, to its sweetgrass field filled with waist-high grasses that serve as the foundation of Lowcountry baskets weaving traditions, each feature of the African Ancestors Memorial Garden tells its own story. The building and landscape honors the hollow ground of Gaston Wharf and the legacy of those who disembarked there, granting opportunities for the land to tell its story while offering new significance and experiences for visitors.